In response to my last video about how to handle one's emotional life when life really seems to suck, someone wrote, knowing that this too shall pass can make all the difference. And I agree. And in this video, I want to offer some very concrete tips on how you can embody that insight or realization that this too shall pass. This is Jørgen Rasmussen. Welcome to the Provocative Hypnosis vlog. So, the insight or embodied realization that this too shall pass is very important. And it's not only meditators who have been emphasizing this. If you look at the psychologist Martin Seligman, for example, in terms of talking about people who have a tendency to depress after failures, he talked about the three P's. How they would tend to take, for example, a failure personally, as in thinking, I'm a failure, and how they would make it permanent seemingly, I'm always a failure, and pervasive across all contexts. So a kind of antidote to this, of course, would be to see that the experiences are contextualized, they don't really last, and there's no self in them. So here's a couple of ways to help clients and yourself embody the realization that this too shall pass. So, for example, in raising my kids, this is one of the things that I try to emphasize. So, let's say that my daughter has strong feelings and thoughts about something, and then a few hours later or the next day, she'll be in a very different mood. And I might ask her, hey, you had some pretty strong feelings last night, some pretty intense thoughts and feelings about whatever. And she'll go, yeah, are they still around? No. What happened to them? They disappeared. Ha! Isn't that interesting? How so strong thoughts and feelings can just disappear. Did you have to do anything for those thoughts to disappear or those feelings? No. Well, isn't that kind of interesting? So, kind of tasking yourself or setting the intent to discover just how transient thoughts and feelings are can really make a big difference. When I see clients in the office or online, I'll do various thought experiments with them, and they might get very emotional. And then a couple of minutes later, I would say, hey, those thoughts and feelings that you had a couple of minutes ago, am I right to assume that they're not there right now? And they go, yeah. Well, did you have to do anything for them to disappear? No, not really. They just kind of disappeared. There's a very effective meditation technique too that you can use to embody this insight even more. The meditation teacher Shinsen Young calls it noting gone. It's not his original technique, but he's made a solid contribution in popularizing it. So what you do with noting gone is that you may, for example, start with the breath. And every time the in-breath ends or is gone, you just note gone. And then when the out-breath ends, you note gone. You might start there. And then as your sensory clarity improves a little bit, you'll notice that within the space of an inhale or an exhale, there's a bunch of sensations and stuff happening. And then every time one of those are over or dissipate, you note gone. So now you can have a bunch of gones for every inhale and every exhale. And then you might add all sorts of body sensations, images, and thoughts so that whenever a pulsation or a tingle or a contraction or a particular image or thought disappears, it's gone, right? So initially, it seems as if our experience, the content of our experience, is very stable with the occasional gone. As you improve your concentration focus and your sensory clarity, you'll have a figure ground switch with this, where it's just gone, 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 gone. Like the gone being the stability, so to speak. You just so clearly see how intermittent experience actually is. And there's something very fascinating too about using your attention in this way, because we're not used to noticing thoughts and feelings and sensations dissolving. Here's something else that's extremely powerful too. Whenever you note gone, you can rest as that which remains, meaning just awareness or consciousness itself. So that realization again and again that every time a thought or a sensation or a feeling dissolves or disappears, consciousness or being itself remains. And by resting in that, you'll deepen the realization that none of these thoughts or feelings are essential for who or what you are. I'll repeat that. You'll have the realization that none of these thoughts and feelings are essential for what or who, in quotation marks, you are. And the more deeply that is seen, the less threatening thoughts and feelings become, because there's the realization that there's something prior to thoughts and feelings, something which is aware of them, and something which remains every time a thought or a feeling dissolves. So that's super nice. By the way, I have no connection with Shinsen Young. I just enjoy his materials. There's a guided meditation on this on his CD set, The Science of Enlightenment. He also dedicates a chapter in his book by the same title, The Science of Enlightenment, on noting gone, which I think just by itself is worth the price of the book. It's a really good CD set, and it's a really good book, and it's not the same product. So I actually recommend both. I hope this was useful. As always, if you would like to explore mentoring or seminars or change work with me, you can reach me at provocativehypnosis.com. If you have any comments, please leave them where you find the video. And as always, thanks for listening.